Hey, everybody.
What up? What up?
How's it going? This is going to be a little awkward.
A little different.
We did not have time to do a full podcast this week, so we are just going to chat about the Batman movie.
Yeah.
And the reason is I got some stuff going on with the kiddos. So that trumps this.
Yeah.
Basically. So apologies about that. But we're going to chat about the new Batman movie here at the end of this. I guess we probably have time to talk about our day. How was your day, bud?
Hot.
Yeah, it was miserable out there. It was
Very hot.
Was it 90s?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not good.
I think it was lower 90s, but still.
It's not. It's one, dude. I hate summer.
Welcome to June.
I know, dude. I hate summer. And since in the last like 5-6 years, there was a time I loved it, but it's gotten every year. It's gotten worse for me. Like today, like my stomach was upset almost all day.
The heat starts getting to you in
Dude,
your old age.
It is bad. It's bad. So yeah, that was no fun.
No.
Yeah, my day was pretty much more the same. It was just hot, horrible.
Very hot.
I was ready to go home.
Same.
It's even hot in this room. Our AC is struggling to keep up. Guys,
I wanted a nap.
oh my God, nap sounds phenomenal, guys.
Isn't it, though?
The real reason we're not having the podcast.
It's hot.
We're going to have a nap.
Oh, nap time?
Yeah, I'm going to go nap. Yeah.
I'm in.
We're skipping up for naps.
It's kindergarten all over again. Hell yeah.
How awesome would that be?
Dude,
I'm saying they need to bring that back for work.
yes.
Just like, hey, guys, you have an hour, go take a nap.
Oh, I take advantage of that every day.
Then again, though, I would kind of be upset
Not
because
every day.
I want to get out of work on time. So that also would counteract that. Because imagine being at your work an hour longer because you had to take a nap. I think I'll wait till afterwards to take a nap.
Honestly, it's almost still sounds worth it.
I don't know. Chuck's debating it like it's a real thing.
I want this.
You're living in a fantasy world, Chuck.
I want this.
I do too.
Yes.
So, the Batman.
Oh, the Batman.
We decided to watch the new Batman.
Yes, we did.
I'm assuming just from your tone that yours is going to be negative. So I'll let you lead because I think I have a more positive note.
Okay. Well.
Oh, guys, spoilers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's going to be hard. Chuck can't stop himself.
I can't.
We will have spoilers. So if you don't want to see that, drop out and now. And we love your faces. Okay. Enjoy your week.
Yeah.
Sorry we weren't able to entertain you for an entire podcast, but
I blame him and his naps.
I blame the kids.
And their naps?
No, they didn't have any naps.
Oh, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So, all right. It's not all bad. I've never seen a Riddler quite like that.
Loved it.
I liked how it was multiple like people dressed up as the Riddler there at the end. But I've never
It was like a true crime approach to
which is what you should get when you get the Riddler in there.
Yeah.
But the problem I had with it was the Riddler's look.
That he looked like a serial killer?
More
or are you
so
talking about his mask?
the mask. I didn't like that.
Would you want him in like that cheesy ass green suit that he wore as kids?
Kinda.
Bro.
Kinda.
Horrible. Some of those things are like we just gotta leave those behind, I feel like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well.
It just doesn't work in live action.
Yeah,
And I think that is one example that it doesn't.
But I want it to.
Then watch cartoons.
No.
That sounds like a you problem. I could immediately when I was watching, I was like, okay, it's really dark. So I know that's immediately going to be your complaint. I'm assuming that was a dark movie for you.
Yeah, but I was trying to look past that.
I mean, it knocks it down for you, right?
Well, the fact that there's the lighting. The lighting is dark. I can't be clear enough with
So
that.
I can agree with, because I thought it was, for a while, that you were talking about, like, the dark theme.
No.
Yeah. So
I love dark theme.
I think this is the prime example of that being the proper pick for that. And I can agree with you on other DC movies being overly dark.
Yeah.
Weirdly, Doom Patrol's not overly dark.
No.
But their movies are. I think they do it to try to add like some grittiness to it or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work out.
Right. But I will say another thing, like with Batman, I got creeper vibes.
I didn't get creeper vibes. I got emo Batman vibes.
For a minute, I thought I was watching you.
Me?
No. The TV show.
Oh, I was like, wait.
When he's sitting there watching them.
I've never been on a TV show. Have you ever seen this? There was like a Fox News reporter, and they're like, he's like, yeah, like you, and she's like, you? What did I do? And he's like, no, the show You, and she's like, I was never in a show, and like she's legitly confused about it. Hilarious.
That's funny.
But yes, okay.
But
so
no, when he's sitting there watching Selena Kyle,
yeah,
in the house, I'm like, what is happening right now?
Oh yeah, because he was spying on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious because I was like, I actually looked at him. I did think that was out of place because I was like, I looked at my wife and I was like, isn't that a little illegal? Watching her undress, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, Batman.
You're better than this.
Yeah. This isn't the Batman we had as kids. God.
No, it's not.
No. And then I love that he looked like emo. Like he looked like, you know.
I think he hit the emo Batman thing there, but
I did like the realism with the paint around the eyes,
Yeah.
but that also with his hairstyle made him look like that, which is fine, whatever. But a different.
I did
style.
think that was weird that he was rocking that look without the mask, though, when he was spying.
Well, I think it was. No, he wasn't. He was rocking the look because he approaches him right after that.
Oh, it was just he wasn't wearing the mask. I got
Yeah,
you.
when he was wearing the mask, talking to like
Yeah.
Alfred and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did like the guy's Alfred.
Yeah.
Every time I'm so doubtful because Alfred has a very look in my head, and that's because of the cartoons and comics, right? But every time they bring one of these people that doesn't look at all like what I imagine, and then they act perfect, and I was like, okay,
It's a badass.
yeah. I was like, all right,
That's a badass old dude.
yeah. But I did think the murder, like I can agree that it was very similar to other serial killer movies or TV shows, sure. But I think bringing that element into a comic book movie, I think that's what helped make it a little bit more unique for me.
Yeah.
I could see, the Batmobile. I can 100% agree with you on the Batmobile aspect.
Yeah.
Because I remember you said something about it to me.
It looks like
last
a badass car. I would love to drive this car. But
Yeah.
the problem is, I feel like at some point within my life, that will be an option. Whereas the Batmobile should never be an option.
Yeah, it has a very, I don't know, man. What's your favorite Batmobile?
I don't know.
I always liked when it had like this longer, slender look.
Yeah, I like the longer, slender, at least the front end.
Yeah, but I've never complained about a Batmobile ever, and this was definitely not a Batmobile. This is just a souped up car. Now,
It was a badass car.
this would be
It was just a
interesting
car.
if they would have been more clear and said, hey, this is early Batman. He's just getting into this.
Yeah.
That would be interesting because now he just built this. Maybe that's the first thing he built,
Yeah, and that could work.
but they didn't do that.
And they never let Batman series go long enough for that to be a thing.
Yep. You did see it's already got a second movie coming, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
It'll stop after 3.
Well, they
They always do.
They're right now in the process of trying to bring Affleck back as well. You couldn't make it more confusing.
No, you can't.
I legitimately saw, hey, Batman 2 will be coming out with Patterson, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay, Patterson. And then the next day I saw a headline saying they offered him like a crazy Ben Affleck, a crazy amount of money to come back into the Justice League for the next movie or whatever. So this Batman, I'm almost wondering if this is sort of like the Joker. You know,
Yeah, with Joaquin Phoenix.
yeah, and it was like a side thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, go ahead and do it. And it's not exactly comic book true. And if that's the case, I like it even more. It still has the elements that I'm looking for, but it's different.
Yeah.
I could
did
dig it.
think that his Bruce Wayne, when he's in public, the way he acted out there, I'm like, what is happening?
He was probably the worst Bruce Wayne I've ever seen.
There is no charisma to this guy.
None.
It's just
Awkward.
depressing.
Yeah. And I think they probably should have showed more Bruce Wayne, but I did enjoy that it was more Batman than Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Now,
I can get behind that part.
Now,
But
how about the villains? What'd you feel about the villains, like the mob bosses and stuff?
okay. Like Penguin and
The guy above Penguin that was,
yeah.
which is funny because the old movie I saw him, immediately when I saw him, I was like, oh my God, this guy is from Mr. Deeds. It's the guy with the messed up foot and they're like beating the foot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's him. And he played a completely different person.
Yeah.
I personally loved it because it gave it more of a mobster feel.
Yeah.
And I liked it because of that. And I thought the Penguin did a really good job acting.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah. I think they played their parts well. I think that I liked how it gave Batman's parents kind of a darker, more realistic, big end corporate corruption kind of side to him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I like how they made that a little more realistic there, but I don't know. I wasn't impressed.
That is
overall.
That is true. It did definitely have like more of a, like the political vibe of the whole thing felt
Right.
very updated.
Right.
Yeah.
But then Batman didn't feel updated.
What are you going 1 out of 10?
5.
5? I went 7, and my wife went 7 as well when we watched it.
Yeah, I'm going 5. I think it's a very average movie for me.
Fair enough.
I wasn't a huge fan of it. I probably won't watch it again.
To me,
Kind of setup.
like I said, to me in my head when I was watching it, because of how young he looks,
Yeah.
I was
you
like,
could be right, and
I
that
was
could
like-
honestly raise it if it is. Like
hey.
if they come out with a second one and they kind of fill in some of my questions,
Yeah.
I might go back and watch it again and run it
Yeah.
through with that.
and
but
I get the complete exasperation of like, oh my God, why are we still making Batman movies at this point?
100%.
If you're gonna do it right, you sign an actor that
Yeah.
you've decided is gonna be Batman for better or worse.
7 movies.
7 movie deal, boom, right there. That's the only way to do it.
Do it Marvel way.
Yeah,
Which is exactly what Marvel did.
not doing that is messing things up because
Yeah.
you're losing our interest. We've seen this redeveloped. That's the one reason I enjoyed this was because it wasn't a redeveloped
Right.
version of ones before. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And I did like Selena Kyle too. I thought she did.
She
a
did
great
good.
job.
Yeah, she did.
That actress.
Absolutely.
Although I don't know. I liked how they showed the kind of the cop side.
Yeah, yeah.
But then they
did.
just let it go right away. Like he punched the dude in the face, escaped,
and then
and
nothing
then it-
ever happened when they went back to. I noticed that.
and then he's back at crime scenes with him.
Yeah,
Like, what? Wait a huh?
yeah.
Or the fact that they completely transported him and never took his mask off.
yeah, I did thought that was pretty funny too.
Like,
Yeah, there was definitely some holes. I'll give you that. That's why it wasn't higher than a 7 for
Yeah.
me because there was some holes. But the overall just vibe and like the structure I enjoyed. I like seeing a more of a serial killer plot around it than a like chase them. Oh,
then
you know,
literally
I don't know.
just your everyday Joker's here.
I did like that he followed the old school Batman rules of no firearms, which is cool because I liked the Batflex guns that he was using.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, this is different. And there were comics that were like that. So it's still accurate. That's one thing I think is funny. I know people are like, well, it wasn't like that in the comics. Do you know how many comics are out there about the same thing?
Yeah.
There's a reason like they do wildly opposites. There's like there is a Superman comic where he is born or he is raised in Russia instead of America,
Okay.
and he's communist Superman.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that was weird.
Speaking of naps,
What'd you think of his the symbol on his chest?
I didn't pay much attention to it, honestly.
It wasn't the bat.
Like I said, his gear and everything
It
was
could have
so
been more of a realistic bat, but it wasn't the Batman bat.
everything was so low grade.
Yeah.
Like even his tech at headquarters that I assumed, like I said, that he was like, oh, I'm just getting started kind of. I'm the young Batman.
Except for the camera.
That was one aspect. But then did you see those things they're watching it on?
Yeah.
The 1980s called.
Well,
they want it back.
In fairness, that's what I expect from Batman.
Not that old.
Is old school.
I don't know, man.
That's the biggest difference for me when you think about Batman and Iron Man. They're both financial moguls.
Yeah.
Who are insanely smart with technology.
But that's why I don't
make things.
Yeah, but that's why I don't expect old school shit. You know what I mean? Like, think of the Batcave and all the other movies. They're always decked out with tech. Their vehicles decked out with tech.
Yeah, but it's like early 2000s tech, whereas like Iron Man's 2020 tech.
Sure, absolutely. But this was like earlier than that.
tech?
It was like, yeah, that computer he was on looked like something. I don't even know, dude. It was crazy. But I was like, okay, so maybe he's just like, parts of it were very advanced, and the other parts clearly not.
Yeah.
I love that they had some mess ups. The wingsuit mess up was icing on the cake for me. Made me so happy because I was like, this is what I want. I want to see. They teach
He's
you
not perfect.
Right. They teach you this with writing as well. You should never have. There should always be tension with your characters, and you should. They said the best way to write your character is to have him up in a tree and everyone's throwing rocks at him, and keep it that way. So like he's not perfect. Yeah. He's messing up. Things are looking terrible for him. And
at all times.
He fights his way through that. He finds a way to persevere through these things, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I want to see when I see a superhero. And that's what I don't get from Marvel.
Right.
It legitimately is like, oh, we have a problem. And I'm like, oh, guess what? It'll be fixed by the end of this movie. That's why Infinity Wars for me. Yeah, that's why Infinity Wars for me was phenomenal because it did not do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
they at least split it into two to make you feel like you didn't. But other stuff is legitimately, I'm going into it like, okay, let's watch a superhero just beat a bunch of people up and win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's no tension whatsoever for me, except between each other. Yeah. Captain America and Iron Man fighting.
And Thor.
Yeah.
And, Thor and Hawk, rather.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what I'm saying. So, like, it's like more of like tension between the group, team, than it is like, oh, hey, we're going to have problems beating this guy.
Yeah.
Even Ultron, I was like, okay, well, he's raising the city up. How are they going to fix this?
Well, I think that's why I like Flash so much.
That's a unique.
He's constantly at tension with himself.
Yeah.
That's why I like that character so much. But Batman, I don't know.
I love Batman, but he's so overdone. They need to take about a 10-year break.
Please.
And then do what we were saying.
Restart.
Where you're like, hey, we're gonna sign you for 7 movies. This could take up to 10, 15 years.
20.
Yeah.
Just however long.
And we are going to just hit it. Yeah. And then at the end of that, we can either re-sign on something. We'll do movie by movie after that or something. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's stressful.
Because I'm tired of, you're right. It's not the same old, same old.
Yeah.
But it still is-ish.
Batman is the Spider-Man. The Spider-Man had the same issues.
Yeah.
Which they worked. I like that they fixed all that, though. Yeah. They made that work.
How many Batman sets have we had? This is 4, right?
Oh, dear God. I mean, you had the one in the 80s. Yeah. You had there's a different Batman in the 90s as well, right? I think two different Batmans in the 90s.
I know we had West.
Yeah.
Keaton. One of them. Keaton.
Then you had Christian Bale, Affleck, Oz. I'm sure there's 2 or 3 other ones in there that I'm missing.
Yeah. At least with Spider-Man, there's been 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I was getting sick of Spider-Man at that point even.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I can agree with you being like sick of the whole thing 100%. At this point. Like, hey, come on, stick with an actor and move it. And it sounded like with
and I will say, at least with the Spider-Man stuff, they went with 2 different storylines.
Yeah.
For the most part. They didn't just dive into one, which Batman has generally been pretty much one storyline, one plot line.
I don't know about that.
I've seen all the same villains in each of them.
Same villains for sure. Well, the first Batman that I can think was Christian. You had the Joker in the original, the 80s. They had Mr. Freeze, the Riddler. I'm trying to think. Poison Ivy was in the old 90s
you don't
ones.
see much Poison Ivy anymore.
You don't. Christian Bale, you had Scarecrow. You had Bale.
That's fair.
Joker. And Joker's a common theme because
they
always try to regurgitate him. And he was even in this last one.
Yeah. At
the end there. I don't know if you got that.
I did.
And then you had...
I will never miss that laugh.
No, see, and in Batman vs. Superman, there wasn't. because the
I did not see that.
you've never seen Batman?
No,
No.
I was done with Batman.
No, everybody seems to hate on it, but I actually
haven't
enjoyed
seen. Now that you're gonna judge me here,
it. No, go ahead.
never seen a Superman movie.
No, not judgmental. One of the most boring superheroes I've ever seen. However, I will say Man of Steel, phenomenal movie. The first one, wonderful. And this is coming from a guy who hates Superman. Never have been a fan of it. I always thought he was a cheap superhero. Always disliked him.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell. Like, you can't tell who it is because he's wearing a cape. You know what I mean? It didn't make any goddamn sense.
Oh, because he took his glasses off.
Stop. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Hashtag Clark Kent.
Yeah, it bothers me so bad. It is ridiculous. He is such a cheap superhero. But I do love when they make him go dark. There's some good like stuff where they make him like and do the bad guy, and I like when they do that.
And I think that's something they could do with a lot of them because with Batman and all in the comics, he has the cure for each of the other superheroes and all that, just in case they do go dark. That could be an entire story arc that they could hit.
Yeah. Batman.
You could give me a Superman movie, then a second Superman movie where he starts going dark, and then you give me a third Superman movie where he's, just going through wreaking havoc. And then you could open up with a whole, you could show Batman, give us his backstory a little bit. Like we already know it, but give it to us in this theatrical sense, and then have him stopping Superman. Then you could do the same with Wonder Woman or The Flash.
I was personally hoping they would take Superman to that dark bad guy thing with this current one they were doing, but I don't. They hinted a lot at it, but they didn't do anything with it. Did you see Justice League then?
No,
you skipped down that. Okay, yeah. So I'm not saying that.
I've seen bits of that, but I never saw Wonder Woman. I haven't seen Aquaman.
I have not been a fan of any of those. I thought Aquaman was okay.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, I didn't like. I wasn't a fan, and I was expecting to go into that liking it, and it just didn't bring me in. I don't know what was wrong with it. And then I ended up liking the one movie that everyone seemed to hate, which is Batman vs Superman. I really enjoyed it. Everybody hates this movie so bad, dude. That gets so much shit, and I don't really quite exactly get why. But
isn't Lex Luthor still in that?
It's Lex Luthor. Okay. Yeah, it's Lex Luthor, Darkseid, and then Superman's. They're not. See, that's what I liked about it was because they were
dark-ish.
They were very human.
Okay.
And they just had a misunderstanding, and then it pitted them against each other because of their misunderstanding. And yeah, I could see why people didn't like parts at the end, which I'm not going to ruin for you.
Yeah.
But you should definitely give that a watch. But watch the rated R version.
Well, why watch anything but?
Well,
if there's a rated R version, I'm watching that.
Yeah, that version's.
You get a lot more well-placed fucks in that.
I hope you like Batman shooting people. That's what I'm going to say.
I don't care.
It made it more realistic for me, so I was like, yes.
My thing with Batman is if he ever kills someone, then I'll have a problem with it.
He kills him. Kills him dead as fuck. Loved it.
What?
Oh, yeah.
That's not Batman.
I don't give two shits. It was awesome. Okay? It made it more realistic. Instead of him dropping down and like, we're taking bullet shots, bouncing off, right? And he's waving his cape to somehow block the fucking bullets, which is ridiculous. He's dropping into like a group of like 6 people.
Here's the negatives from the Batman.
Yeah.
Well, I knew I'd get there.
Yeah. He drops in the middle of like 4 people, and he's using their own weapons to knock all of them out.
Okay.
There's definitely people that die in there. There's no way they live through these.
Honestly,
they don't try to soothe you over either. That's why I liked it.
Yeah.
But
first thing that I thought when the first fight sequence of the Batman movie, he's just beating the shit out of the guy on the ground. And I'm like,
yeah,
this is not Batman. He gonna kill him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I will say this is not ruining anything for you. But from Batman vs Superman, there was one section I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this because the only time he's using the weapons is really when someone's pointing the gun at him, and he turns it on that person, and then kind of uses their thing to fire on him or whatever. He still kills them or wounds them essentially.
He's not killing him.
But there was a part where he's up on top of this crane, and you're watching the bad guy through a scope, and I was like, what's happening? And then it like zooms out, and he's like on with a sniper rifle. And I was like, no fucking way. If he uses this sniper rifle, that's too far for even me. And then he was just like using it to like scope him out. And I was like, all right. I was about to have an issue here. Woo! too. Like I was like, I mean, straight up, just like sniping this dude. I was like, okay, this is not the Batman.
This is not the Batman I know.
No, but I think all of them had their issues.
Yeah, I do. One movie I really want to see though is Justice League.
Don't fucking watch Justice League without watching Batman vs Superman. Because
Okay.
no, it all ties into that.
Okay.
It directly. You could skip
Really?
all the other movies. Batman vs Superman, rated R version. Do not, if you're gonna waste your time. And I'm not saying Justice League is a phenomenal movie because it's not. It definitely has its issues. Skip all Wonder Woman and Aquaman, in my opinion. If you really don't, unless you're like, oh, I really want to get it all, which I don't think is really worth, in my personal opinion. Watch the 4-hour-long Justice League.
Dan Snyder's.
Yeah, do not watch the other trash because
The one that they actually put out.
It is trash, so bad. The 4 hours split up between 3 days, you'll be decently satisfied with it.
One movie I want to see out of that, I do want to see Aquaman.
I did think so. Aquaman was
I really like Wonder Woman,
yeah,
but I don't feel like I care to watch the movie.
I thought Wonder Woman was badass in Batman vs Superman, but her own movie, I don't know, there was just some stuff lacking in it. And the first one was okay.
Yeah,
I'd say it was around that average mark for me. The second one was horrible. Aquaman.
There's 2 Wonder Woman movies.
Yeah.
Fuck. I've paid all my attention to Marvel.
I see this. Well, that's why I wanted 2 different perspectives because instead of just watching one, and so you go to DC, the quality is much worse.
Yeah.
When Doom Patrol has better quality than your cinematic, like your movies, like there's issues.
Bro, give me DC TV shows.
All day. They know what they're doing when it comes to TV shows, for sure. Movies.
Bar none. Gotham.
I've watched parts of it and it was good.
Bro, if there's a TV show I can recommend you to watch right now, it's Gotham.
Okay. Yeah. It's not even on anymore, is it? It's off at this point.
I believe so.
That came out like 5 years ago, I think, or 6 years ago at this point.
But you know the premise of it, right?
Yeah. I enjoyed I watched
follow child Batman growing up.
First season, I think, maybe I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good take on it.
Yeah. I think it's phenomenal. The characters, oh my goodness, unreal.
Guys, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah, we pretty much made a whole podcast.
We did a half a podcast on random shit. Us ranting about DC and Marvel. You're welcome. That was supposed to be like a 15-minute clip of us just doing the Batman thing.
And here we are.
And we're here.
Because tangents.
And now I'm in trouble.
Uh-oh. Well, on that note, that's it for this little powwow and
dude, we know
little hash over thing.
We know how to hit some damn tangents. I love it. What's not to love?
Right? But I suppose that's it for this week for this little mini podcast.
Yes. Guys, again, sorry about that, but sometimes things just don't work out and we
Life gets a little crazy sometimes and kids always come first, so.
Yes, sir. And we want to make sure we hit those reactions. So, guys, until next week, send us out, Chuckles.
That's it for whatever kind of weird episode of the Unadulterated Amateurs podcast this is. Until next time, peace out.